Whenever you're dealing with time travel of really any kind, things can get extremely messy very, very quickly. As soon as you introduce any kind of past alteration, you must immediately rethink pretty much the entire story. Is it a story about the butterfly effect, in which case changing things is the entire story, or is it a story about achieving some kind of outcome in the future, in which case you either need fixed elements or the story kind of falls apart because you could just like literally do anything until you get the right outcome. That's why time travel's hard. That being said, the central themes of Attack on Titan have always been inheritance, free will or lack thereof, and existential philosophy in a cruel and dangerous world. And because Attack on Titan is fundamentally a fantasy story, you can personify or otherwise convey abstract things in very tangible powers/objects. And so, what I think the Founding Titan, and the Rumbling more broadly, was meant to represent was the inherited hatred of an entire people personified in a single character. It is the rage of Ymir, of Grisha, of Eren, every child who believed that the only way to survive was to destroy everything and anyone who stood in their way. Functionally locking them into this timeline is merely to make us ask, at what point does free will end and a logical outcome based on prior circumstances begin? Purely in terms of the show's message, the Rumbling was never inevitable because of a fixed timeline. It became inevitable because of radicalization. Scenes like the conversation between Eren and Armin or Eren and Ramsey are merely there to show us every step of it, start, middle, and even after. That is what fantasy is all about. The human condition dressed up in a shinier and often impossible and contradictory form. And I think that's exactly why the topper of this entire story is the reveal that Eren killed his own mother. Eren, as a character, is a single personification of this endless cycle. It is a fundamental paradox that cannot be escaped. The series does give you glimpses of hope and ways of stopping the cycle, but at the end of the day, this story is still a tragedy. It starts and ends with a destruction of an entire people. So yes, the Crystal Catacombs twist is super spicy and everything, but the paradox doesn't happen because Eren is a time wizard. It happens because that tide of hatred was going to blow either way. The Eldia Restorationists, anti-Marleyan volunteers, the Jaegerists, all of these are just forms of the same thing.